Good afternoon, everyone. So welcome to this first lecture of the Math 133 subject. So this is plane and spherical trigonometry. So in this lecture, I am going to give a brief course description and the orientation. I'm give you the outline of this course. I have also prepared a discussion for this first topic of the first chapter. So uh, if you have question, just comment on the comment box once this video will be posted on the Google Classroom. Okay, as I said earlier that this is course orientation of the subject. So I'm going to discuss the description and the and present to you the outline. So this Math 133 is known as the plane and spherical trigonometry. So most of the topics that we are going to discuss are related to trigonometric function, identities and equation, the solution of the triangles, the law of sine and cosine, inverse trigo function, and the spherical trigonometry. And what are the application of these topics in relation to geodetic engineering? So for the course outline, for the first chapter, we have trigonometric function. For the trigonometry subject, so we have 4 chapters. So for the first chapter, we're going to discuss these topics. We have the review for the angles and measurements and its application. We have trigonometric function and angles, trigonometric function values, the sine and the cosine of a real numbers, the graph of a sine and cosine, another sine wave, and the solution of a right triangle. So next, we have for chapter 2, we have analytic trigonometry. So we are going to discuss the 8 fundamental identities, the proving, the sum and difference of these identities, the double and the half measure identities. We have also discussed inverse trigo function, the trigo equation, and what are the operations for the identities. For the chapter 3, we have here the law of sines and the law of cosine and its application. So more of the sample problems or the more of the exercises are related to geodetic engineering course. So we try to find sample problems that is useful in the surveying or in the geodetic engineering field. We have also, for the last chapter, we're going to discuss spherical trigonometry. So, fundamentals, may mga formulas na spherical trigo which is essential in the next subject, in the subject of geodesy, astronomy. So, very helpful itong subject na to na spherical trigonometry. We have the fundamentals. So, yung mga maski formula lang and what are these spherical triangles. Okay, so let's go now to the first chapter. So the first chapter will be trigonometric function. So if you have background on this subject, it would be an advantage. So for the first topic, we're going to discuss the angle measurement and its application. So more or less, we're going to discuss how are we going to convert uh, angles from one format, for example, decimal to degree, minutes, and seconds. What are those radians, arc length, the sector, and etc. Okay, so let's now move to the topic and the lecture proper. So for the first chapter, we have the angles and measure of the angles and its application. So as an introduction, we are going to define first what is trigonometry. So by definition, so this is a branch of mathematics that is concerned with measurement of a triangle, the parts of a triangle, the sides, and the angles. So when we say plane trigonometry, so this is limited to triangles that lie in a plane. So when we say lie in a plane, which means the triangle line in a horizontal surface. So it is based on a certain ratio. When we say, by the way, when we say horizontal surface, which means surface which is two-dimensional. So it is based on a certain ratio of a known trigo function. So in this subject, we're going to discuss 2 types of trigonometry, the plane and the spherical trigonometry. So what's the difference between the two? So when we say plane trigonometry, so it deals with the relationship between angles and side of a triangle which have meron siyang three vertices that are located on a surface of a plane. So isang tatlong sides, tatlong vertices nagko-connect, and yung tatlong sides are connected in a straight line. So that is a definition of the plane spherical trigo. And when we say spherical trigonometry, spherical trigo naman, so involve the study of spherical triangles. So yung triangle na is spherical, so hindi na siya straight, which are formed by the intersection of the great circle arc on the surface of a sphere. So when we say great circle, pag sinabing great circle, for example, if yung globe, if we take half, pag slice natin yung globe into half, in which yung slice natin will pass through to the center of that globe. So that is, yung face na half is called the great circle. So three of those great circles intersect, which form a spherical triangle. So I have here an illustration to visualize the difference between your plane and the spherical. So in this illustration, makikita nyo sa this here, makikita nyo. So this are this circle is one of the great circle that passed through to the center of that illustration. This also here is another great circle, kaso hindi siya na-draw, dapat until doon pa siya. And another great circle is coming from here, this line. So pag yung tatlong lines, we have line C, A, and B, which is curve yung surface kasi nga spherical siya. So there is triangle. Pag nag-intersect yung tatlong vertices, so this called now the spherical triangle. So unlike naman, so kung ito yung commonly alam natin, which is yung plane mismo na triangle. So tatlong sides, which is a straight, that is a plane triangle. So but basically, galing dito yung concept ng plane trigonometry. Angle and sides lang yung nai-involve na parameter. So, maraming application yung trigonometric function. So, kahit saan nakikita mo, merong application yung trigo function. So, especially sa engineering, diba? Yung most common sa surveying, very important yung basic knowledge ng trigonometry. So, yung algebra application lang yun. So, the most basic talaga knowledge is on trigo. So, surveying, yung mga navigation, for example, yung maritime, we have also sa engineering, sa construction, sa anything design, it involves trigonometry, the application of trigonometry and the trigonometric function. Okay? So let's start with the angles and the measure. So when we say angles, so I guess lahat naman tayo alam kung ano yung angle. So basically, yung angle is formed by two rays. So ito yung initial, and this is the terminal ray. So pag yung dalawang ray is joining into one point, nagkikreate siya dito ng kung saan sila nagjo-join, ito yung tinatawag nating vertex. And the angle or yung direction that start from the initial point hanggang dun sa terminal point, okay, hanggang dun sa terminal point is tinatawag nating angle. So let's say angle theta. So yung kung saan nag-start yung ating measurement ng direction, ito yung tinatawag natin na line na initial, and yung pangalawa is ang terminal. So by definition, is a measurement of rotation of change of a direction. So it's formed by two rays that have a common endpoint. One ray is called the initial, yung horizontal, and the other is the terminal. So yung common endpoint niya, ay tinatawag na vertex. So, the vertex is here, yung common endpoint. Okay? So, in this illustration, the plane angle XOP, so meron tayong point na X, point O, and point P, is formed by two rays. So, in this illustration, yung XO, line XO, isa yung ating magiging initial, and yung ating OP ay yung magiging ating terminal. So, the point O, yung tinatawag nating vertex, and half line are called the sides of the angle. Okay, so ito yung magiging sides ng angle. So, we have called the positive and the negative angle. So, pag positive angle, if the direction of the rotation ng angle is indicated by a curved arrow, is counterclockwise. So, pag yung ating angle is counterclockwise, which means opposite na nakikita mo sa clock. So, for example, yung illustration ni A, so yung arrow niya is coming from here up to that point. So, counterclockwise siya. So, that angle is called a positive angle. So, on the other hand, so si B, illustration B, yung starting point niya is XO and papunta siya pababa. So, that is a negative angle. So, also this one, so pag initial point niya is from here, XO pa rin naman. However, nag-turn pa siya ng isang 360. Nag-360 siya until nag-add pa siya ng isang angle. In this illustration, positive pa rin siya since yung direction ng turn ng angle is counterclockwise. So, we have different types of angle. We have this very common, which is, we learned this one since in our elementary, we have the acute angle, which is less than 90, yung kanyang measurement. Right angle, which is exactly 90 degrees. And you have the obtuse, so if the angle is greater than 90 but less than 180. So, pag sinabing straight angle, straight. Naka-straight lang, naka-horizontal. Sorry, yung drawing ko hindi straight. We have reflex angle, an angle that is greater than 180 degrees. So, you have your illustration. So, this is acute, more or less. This one is 60. This one is, pag naka 90 degrees, may indication na right to. So, mayroon drawing ganyan. We have obtuse, which is more than 90 degrees. We have the straight line. So, if you're coming from, this is your terminal, and this is the, this is the initial point mo, and ito yung center. This will be the line, which is your terminal. So, yung measurement mo is straight, that is 180. So, yung tawag niyan. So, we have also a reflexive, which is more than 180 degrees. And a full rotation, which is 360 degrees. Okay? So, we have the types of angle measurement. Meron tayong, in the way we write the angles. You can write the angles in terms of using the sexagesimal system. So, sexagesimal system, gumamit tayo ng degree, minutes, and seconds. We have also called the centesimal, in which we write the angle in terms of radian measure. Pwede ding mils or mils, pwede ding grade or grad, pwede ding this one. So, if we are going to convert the factor, take note of these values na yung 180 degrees is equivalent to pi radian. So, isang pi, 1 revolution, in which isang full rotation is equivalent to 360 degrees, which is equivalent to 2 pi. Since yung isang pi is 180, so yung isang revolution is equivalent to 2 pi. So, 180 plus 180 is equals to 360. So, 1 revolution is equals to 400 grad. So, equivalent yan, which means yung 2 pi is equivalent to 400 grad. So, ibang centesimal system din yun. So, which is also equivalent to, yung isang revolution ay 6,400 mils. So, which means, we have also another, is yung isang degree ay 60 minutes. And yung 1 minute is 60 seconds. So, later on, This is very common na nako-confuse if we are going to convert from decimal to degree minutes seconds format, radian to degrees. So we have an example on the next slide. Okay. So if we are going to change the angles in decimal form to degree minutes second format. For example, given meron tayong example. Given meron tayong 58 degrees, 22 minutes, and 16 seconds na angle measure. Then, we need to convert this one in decimal format. Paano ba yan magiging decimal format? So, required natin is to convert this one or change this one into a decimal format. So, ito yung magiging ating solution. So, yung 58, you just copy 58, 22, and 16. So, yung 58 degrees, this is the degree na, so no need to convert this one. And kailangan lang natin i-convert is the 22 and 16. So, si 22, kailangan natin siya 22 minutes, i-convert natin siya into degrees. So, paano natin i-convert yung 22 minutes into degrees? We just divide 22 by 60 minutes. Since yung isang degree is equivalent to 60 minutes. Plus, yung ating seconds, this one is in seconds. So, if we convert 16 seconds into decimal, so what is the equivalent of 16 seconds in degree? So, we need to, from kanina, so di ba, 1 minute is equals to 1 degree, and yung 1 degree is equals to 3,600 seconds. So, the 16, so write 16 divided by 3,600 seconds. So, nagiging 3,600 seconds to. So, you just add 58 plus, kung 22 divided by 60 seconds, minutes plus 16 divided by 3,600 seconds. So, this is equivalent to 58.31711. You just take the round off. This is equivalent to 58.37 degrees. So, yung 58 degrees, 22 minutes, 16 seconds is just equivalent to 58.37 degrees. So, if you try to look at it in your calculator, it's just the same. Okay? How about vice versa? What if we convert this 58 degrees, 58.37 degrees, diba nakadecimal to? What if gawin natin siyang in degree, minutes, seconds na format? So, let's try it. So, again, yung given natin na is 58 degrees, 0.37. Let's check kung tama ba yung sagot natin kanina. So, 58.37 degrees. So, yung required natin is to convert this decimal form into degree, minutes, and seconds form. So, as a solution, copy lang natin yung 58.37 degrees plus, you just copy this one. So, this is the whole number of the degree. No need to convert this one since naka-degree siya. And let's go to the remaining decimal. So, this is 0.37 degree. So, the question is, what is the equivalent of 0.37 degrees into minutes and seconds? So, let's try. So, copy muna natin yung 0.37. This one. 0.37 times 60 minutes. This is equivalent to 58 degrees, 22.2 seconds. So, is this the final answer? Hindi pa, because we need degree, minutes, and seconds. Mayroon pa tayong natitirang 0.02 minutes. So, what is the equivalent of 0.02 minutes in terms of seconds? So, let's just write. Yung copy lang yung 58, yung 52, tapos yung i-multiply na natin by 60 second is yung 0.2. So, okay. So, 58 degrees, 22 minutes plus 0.2 times yung into 0.2 times 60 seconds. Since yung isang minuto is equivalent to 60 seconds. So, this is equal to nagiging 52 degrees, 58 degrees, 22 minutes, and 12 seconds. So, question. Kanina yung answer is dapat 58, diba? Yun, dapat 58 degrees, 22 minutes, and I guess that is 16 seconds. Bakit hindi tama yung sagot sa seconds? So, this is because we ran off the values kanina, diba? 58.37711. So, nag-run off tayo. That's why may konting difference. Okay? Okay. So, let's have here converting angles to radian. Pag sinabi natin radian, so this is defined as the measure of the central angle subtended by an arc of a circle equal to the radius of the circle. When we say, which means, look at to the illustration. So, meron tayo ditong arc, itong naka-bold. So, this is the arc that subtended the radian. Ito yung ating angle. So, this is the radian angle. Subtended by an arc of a circle equal to the radius of the circle. Which means, yung arc mismo na subtend ng angle is equivalent ng radius ng circle. So, yung length nito from this point here to here is equivalent sa subtended arc ng isang radian o isang part ng circle. So, that is a 1 radian. Pag sinabing 1 radian, so there is circumference of a circle. Ano ba yung circumference ng circle? So, yung given ng circumference of a circle, which is C, is equals to 2 pi r. And they subtended by 360 degrees. For example, pag 360 degrees siya, so which means yung ating circumference, which is 360 degrees, is equal to 2 pi r. So, which means yung isang pi, yung 360 degrees is equal to 2 pi r. Divide mo siya ng 2. So, this is equals to 180 degrees is equals to pi r. So, yung isang pi radian is equals to 180 degrees. Okay, let's have here. So, yung isang radian is equals to 180 degrees over pi. So, kanina, simplify natin. Pag kita ka natin kanina kung bakit 180 degrees over pi yung ating isang radian. So, if we simplify this one, 180 over pi, so let's just substitute the value of pi. Ano yung value ng pi? 3.14159. So, let's substitute that values. In which yung isang radian equivalent niya is equal to 57.296 degrees or equivalent siya ng 57 degrees in decimal minutes and second, 57 degrees, 17 minutes, and 45 seconds. That is equivalent to 1 radian. So, which means, pagbaliktad naman, yung isang degree is equivalent to pi degrees over radian. So, if you convert this one, simplify, this is the degree, and isang degree to, you cancel out. That is magiging pi over 180. So, 3.14159 divided by 180 radian. So, therefore, yung isang degree equivalent na is 0.017453 radian. Okay? So, let's have here an example. So, we have here converting angles to radians and vice versa. So, if we're going to simplify this or convert this into angles, so we use the ratio of 1 radian is equals to 180 degrees over pi. So, this is equals to times 180 degrees over pi. So, is equal to, so what happens? We can cancel out pi. So, this now become 7 multiplied by 180 degrees over 12. So simplify this one. So you can have an answer of 105 degrees. So check if my answer is correct. So how about this 50 degrees? If you're going to convert this one into radian, so you just use the ratio that the 1 degree is equivalent to pi over 180. So 1 pi, this is pi rad over 180 degrees. So you cancel out the degrees on the top. So the remaining is, we have 50 pi rad over 180 degrees. To simplify this one, you cancel out the 0. So this will become 5 pi over 18 rad. So this is now the answer. So this is 105 degrees and 5 pi over 18 rad. So check my solution. Kung dili ka muna sabutan na akong writings because I am using a new pen. So medyo malain na akong kasurat. So you check if the answer is correct if you have the same solution. So for the center angle, you have the arc length and the sector area. So I know you have encountered this one in your high school. This is just a review. So pag sinabing central angle, pag nakasubtend yung ating circle and may dalawang radius, so angle with its vertex at the center of the circle. So yung theta in the illustration is a central angle. So intercepted arc, pag sinabing intercepted arc, this is a segment of the circle that is intercepted by the angle. So in the illustration, ano ba yung arc na na-intercept ni theta? So this area here, which is known as the S, yung ating intercepted arc. So yung arc length of a circular distance, which is equivalent to S, so this is the length of the intercepted arc na S. So sector area naman, when we say sector area, this is the area bounded by the two sides of the central angle and its intercepted arc. So yung area dito, so let's change the color. So when we say sector area, we mean the area of this bounded region. So in between of the radius and the intercepted arc, that is the sector area. So if we are going to determine the value of the S, this is just we call equivalent to the radius times the angle. So S equals to r theta. So where S, that is the arc length subtended by the angle. Yung r is yung radius ng circle, and yung theta is the angle in terms of radian. Again, if you're using this formula, use theta in radian. So do not use theta in angle. So magsasayo pa niyo answer. Okay? So if we are going to compute naman the area bounded by that sector or the sector area, we just use the formula A, or yung area is equals to 1/2 of your r squared, where r is the radius ng circle and theta is the angle, central angle on of the circle. Okay? So therefore, in one full circle, when we say yung circumference mismo ng circle, yung circumference niya again is 2 pi r. So if we simplify this one, if we want to get the value of the r, so c over r is equals to 2 pi, where yung s is equals to r theta, and yung c equals to r theta. Since yung s and c is the circumference ng subtended angle. If c equals r equals to theta, so if we divide both sides by r, magiging c r equals to theta. So equating this c over r, that is equivalent to 2 theta. So this means that in full circle, the angle is 2 pi radian. So dito natin nakukuha yung area or circumference mismo ng circle. So, yung theta is equals to 2 pi, o yung 360 degrees is equivalent to 2 pi. So, that is the equivalent of 1 revolution, which is equals to 2 pi. So, I have here a sample problem. So, there are answers in that problem. You can try to solve. So, this is the basic questions. How long is the arc of 35 degrees if the diameter of the circle is 10 feet? So, let's try to answer this one. How long is an arc of 35 degrees? Yung hinahanap niya is yung length ng arc of a 35 degrees central angle. Tapos, yung diameter ng circle is 10 feet. So, yung answer niya is 3.054. So, let's check if we can solve this one. So, how long is an arc of a 35 degrees if the diameter of a circle is 10 feet? So, meron tayong given. So, given na tayo ng meron tayong central angle. So, given tayong central angle which is equals to 35 degrees. And yung diameter ng yung 35 degrees, yun yung central angle which is equals to theta. And given tayo ng diameter ng circle which is equal to 10 feet. So, yung kailangan niya is yung length mismo ng arc na nagsasubtend ng central angle which is 35 degrees. So, kung meron tayong illustration, so let's say this is a circle. So, imagine nyo na lang circle to. And if this is the center, for example, ito yung diameter na 10 feet. So, yung kanyang radius is equivalent na lang ng 5 since diameter divided by 2, that is the radius. So, this is 5. This is 5 also. So, yung central angle niya is equivalent to 35 degrees. So, yung question is, ano yung length ng sector? So, ano yung length dito ng kanyang sector? So, by formula, S equals to R theta, in which yung S is yung length mismo ng arc. Yung R natin, wala tayong R since meron tayong diameter. We could use diameter over 2 times yung ating theta na 35 degrees. So, yung S natin equals to yung R, which is equals to 10 divided by 2 times yung ating 35 degrees. So, yung S equals to 5. So, this is 5. 5 feet na lang siya times 35 degrees. Kaso, yung theta, kailangan siyang radian. So, let's have another solution. So, convert muna natin yung 35 degrees into radian. Paano ba i-convert yung 35 degrees into radian? So, let's just multiply this one by ratio na yung isang pi radian is equivalent to, yung isang pi radian is equals to 180 degrees. So, just cancel out this one. So, yung natitira is 35 pi radian over 180 degrees. So, wala, sorry. Wala na yung degrees. So, yung 5 na feet multiplied by 35 pi radian over 180 is equals to 3.054 feet na yung length ng arc. So, you just try to check if our solution is correct. So, okay, those are just a review of the angles. So, next presentation, I will be discussing the application of the angle. So, hindi pa sa application mismo ng trigo. So, with the application also only in the angles. And I'm going to discuss what are those special angles. So, this time we will end this recording since it's already in 35 minutes. So, hindi na siya masyadong mataas pag naglo-load ka mo or nagda-download. So, we end this one and we're going to make another video recording for the next topic. So, stay tuned for the updates. Thank you.